So I might piss some people off with this post, but if you are an advocate of adopt, don't shop, you should still be supportive of people who want to purchase dogs from ethical breeders. The reason I say that is that ethical breeders are not really contributing to the overcrowding crisis in our shelters and rescues. Part of what makes an ethical breeder is that, number one, they're vetting the buyers of their puppies, but they're also ensuring in a contract that if the person needs to rehome that dog at any point in the dog's life, they're required to return the dog to the breeder or to contact the breeder and approve the rehoming of that dog to somebody else. Not only that, but they're doing health and temperament testing of the parents that they're going to breed. So they're not just taking them for shots and general checkups. They're doing x-rays. They're doing genetic testing to make sure that the dogs aren't going to be passing down deformities or medical issues that may not be apparent in the parents at that time. And the temperament testing. So they're making sure that the parents that they're going to breed are going to be compatible in temperament to produce the kind of temperament in the puppies that they're looking for. So they might, if it's a working breed, they might choose dogs that have the appropriate temperament for that type of work and that are capable of doing that type of work. If they're breeding for, say, service dog work or companion dogs, they're also going to be choosing parents that have the capacity and the temperament for that kind of work. So if you are purchasing a dog from an ethical breeder, not only do you have support in rehoming the dog should you ever need that at any point, but you also are probably going to get pretty close to what you're looking for in that puppy. And the breeder is confident that you have the lifestyle in the home that is going to give the dog the best chance of success. And they're not just taking the first person that shows up with a Venmo account. The real problem is the quote-unquote backyard breeders. So these are puppy mills. These are people who are not doing genetic testing. They're not doing health testing. They're not doing temperament testing. They're just breeding either two random dogs. They're breeding because they love their dog and they want a puppy from them. So they find, a mate on Facebook and have dogs that have questionable compatibility, questionable medical issues, questionable temperaments, etc. And a lot of times that ends up just going completely awry. You also have breeders that are breeding for type or looks rather than good health or good temperaments. And the dog may be beautiful, the dog may be cute, but if it's aggressive, reactive, has health issues, etc., that makes it a lot more likely that it's going to get dumped at a shelter or go home to home its whole life. And yes, you can find some really wonderful dogs in shelters and rescues, but unfortunately there's also a lot of unethical rescues and shelters out there that don't vet the potential adopters or that aren't honest about the dogs that they're trying to adopt out. I can't tell you how many times I've seen posts from rescues or shelters that are trying to reframe behavioral issues as some sort of quirk or, something cute, when in reality, that dog could potentially be dangerous or has some severe behavioral issues that a potential adopter may not know what they're getting into. And that means that dog's either going to get returned or dumped or rehomed. So at the end of the day, supporting ethical breeders is not a bad thing and it's not contributing to the crisis. If you're going to rescue a dog, make sure that you're doing your homework on the rescue or shelter and the dog that you're potentially adopting so that that it's likely going to be a good fit for your household. So if you watched the video this far, go ahead and drop in the comments, where did you get your dog? Did you get it from a rescue? Did you get it from a breeder? And how was that experience for you?